Hey Ross, hey everybody.
Hello, hello. How's it going?
Pretty good. How about you?
Doing pretty good.
Good to hear that. Hey Tim,
Hey guys.
cool backgrounds you got there on those videos.
Are you talking to me?
Nah, 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 Tim, this time.
Oh,
You as always also though.
Oh yeah. There's a friend of mine who's got a studio, so it's all set up for like podcasting and like one to one on the cameras, that kind of stuff. So he's got a pretty cool studio with the correct lighting and the camera setup and the soundproofing and stuff. So
Yeah,
are
it
the,
looks cool.
are those the videos that you're posting on YouTube to start getting some new
yeah,
clients?
I put them in the Discord now just to get some feedback. So
Okay,
these were the teaser ones. Yeah.
nice. So for everyone else, Tim is an agency using Stammer and uh, now is creating content and posting it on YouTube and I believe sharing it on LinkedIn as well.
Yeah, mainly LinkedIn previously. Yeah.
Mainly LinkedIn. Yeah. Right on. We got some more people joining. Awesome. Hey Tim, hey Justin. Hey guys.
Hey.
Hey there.
Cool. Well, yeah, thanks everyone for joining today. I'm gonna hand it off to Justin here in a second. We've typically we'll go through some different items. We'll go over some new updates and do some general Q&A and some questions and things. We'll keep it pretty light today, this week. But that being said, Justin, you want to kick it off from here?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, thanks everyone for joining. Wanted to, take some time. We have these meetings and we see a lot of different techniques and niches that are being incorporated into agencies' businesses, and we wanted to take this time to hear about any wins, anything that didn't go well, and everything in between for your agency and some of your customers, so we could all collaborate and help each other grow our businesses. So yeah, anyone have any big wins this week or things they want to share? And,
I mean,
and by the way, I will note we want to keep this time not for products recommendations. For that, please send us a message in Discord. We really just want to see where the product where it's currently working for your agency.
just to work off of that, Tim was just saying that he was making some videos on YouTube, posting them on LinkedIn to generate that top of funnel to get people interested in into the platform, which I guess is starting to work pretty well.
Had some quite good traction on LinkedIn with them so far. And I've tried to do it so that I'm not selling the service. I'm selling the idea of why you need AI in your life, basically, and what AI can do to improve customer service, or in the case of Klarna, how it can save them a ton of money if you're a big business and you're using AI in your customer service, or um, yeah, things like document retrieval. Just trying to go through the different things, but it's obviously the videos are from me and my platform is Bobby, but it's more about positioning myself as an expert in there. So I'm the go-to guy in my area for clients who want to use AI in their business. And my background is agency work, mainly web design and digital marketing, but for tech companies and manufacturing companies and engineering as part of that as well. So that tends to be my niche.
Yeah, and a great example, by the way, I really like not pigeonholing yourself with one aspect of the product, but we went over this 2 weeks ago. There's a really fantastic use case for Slack chatbots that incorporate the same knowledge base, same setup as a web-based chatbot. So if you do position yourself as that expert, there is that ability to basically sell multiple types of AI into a company. Anyone else have any examples of that? Or has anyone actually tried selling the Slack chatbot that we went over a few weeks ago? Greg, I see you have a hand up.
I have not, but I did want to kind of share my experience. I started the kind of in a different way where I've been watching AI for years, and then I was in a conversation with a law firm and started talking about what we could do with automation. And that's what kind of like sprungboard me into it. The law firm actually hired me on and said, "Hey, let's go do this." And then they started hiring consultants for me. And they almost got into it where they started spending money to the point they're like, "Well, let's just keep spending money on this guy." And I was like, "Oh man," as an entrepreneur, it was kind of like finally like a client that sees its way of building that value. So this was in Indianapolis, and our ability to kind of like automate this big law firm, it's actually a Lloyd's of London syndicate, where they had this like $70,000 process, and it took like 4 weeks for them just to get the 5 Ws out of like say 10,000 documents. So we built this swarm that started kind of like, get the chronology, the cast of characters, things like that. So we took that experience and we moved out to Hollywood. And so I've got a team of 4, and we're here basically building agency swarms. We just started taking like scripts, being everybody's a writer, and like there's kind of an identity crisis with AI in Hollywood. So we've been getting every writer, I heard somebody say it's like Ozempic, where you have to be on it but can't admit to it. So AI in LA is kind of like everyone's kind of seeing like like I know there's controversy every time I'm brought into a room, but then everyone wants to talk at the same time because there is such a FOMO and a fear on what we do, kind of thing like that. So I guess that's my kind of like use case study, was first with law and then now with entertainment.
Interesting. So like making AI agents for the writers themselves, or?
Yeah, so we've done everything from like downloading their IP so we can then chat with their
Okay.
their
Yeah.
IP, take a script into a book or a script into a sizzle reel. That's what they really want, like sizzles and trailers. Ultimately. And then so the kid I studied, my coder, he was an animation student. And so he's been doing kind of things with cinematography and building, scenes, and then moving his iPad as kind of like this like camera kind of thing within their settings. So it's a little bit above my head on that whole production, but it does, everything we've done with the lawyers, where you're automating a process, and then anytime you come up against this kind of brick wall in that process, we just like throw the human in the loop. And that's where it kind of comes in to say a lot of people are looking for magic, right? Like I think a lot of our clients are like, let me just give you all my tasks, and then like you just do everything I do. And what I've kind of noticed is like, no, hey, like even if you look at this as an automation issue, and we can take your big process and turn it down into answering a few questions. So even with our lawyer project, our clients wanted, let us give you 10,000 documents and then you just like win the case for us. I was like, oh, it's like, all right. So we're like, but once again, if you kind of said, okay, we just took this 4-week, $70,000 process, turned it into a 10-minute process that asked, a lawyer a few questions. And now you have this human in the loop kind of AI automated system that, oh, by the way, is getting better, and you're building trust with it. Right. So I have found that like pitching it to clients to talk about, I put it as, hey, it's not magic, but it does help you and your neural network get better as well. And that relationship with your devices and your neural network is what we're trying to build up. And that I feel like puts the proper parameters on the relationship to say, hey, we're not going to give you wizardry within days, because that's what I feel like people think it should be so quick and fast. And I kind of hype it up too, because I tell people, hey, I can speak to create, which is true, but it just works better if I can create small things at a time.
I might have to use that tagline, digital Ozempic. New tagline for AI.
Right.
That's good.
Funny. And Greg, how many, if you don't mind sharing, how many bots do you have deployed right now? The customers are using?
Oh, good question. Yeah. So on our lawyer, we probably have 24. And then and a lot of that's trial and error where you're building the bots and you're sitting there, like how many retrieval bots we did, you know. And then the skills, that's another one as you build the skills and then the workflows. So that's how we've been actually making a lot of our goals. Like, for example, in the next 2 weeks, starting tomorrow with our lawyer client, you know, I've got him kind of saying, hey, I think you can refine our bots better because you're the expert. That's the other piece that I'm finding is saying, like, I can only go so far, but I'm not a lawyer and I don't understand this stuff.
Yep.
So getting him on, and there is this, like, he's a smart man, he understands things, but there's this a fear of actually touching the tech. I'm finding from everyone. You know?
Definitely.
That is the story I'm hearing over and over and over. I was telling somebody this earlier, and this is a really good example and I think story that everyone can kind of use in their own conversations that they have with potential clients and potential business owners. There was an expose on 60 Minutes last Sunday about NVIDIA and AI and all these, and AI in general. And who watches 60 Minutes? It's not young people. It's older business owners, most likely. And those business owners are now seeing like, oh, AI, what's this AI thing? Now they're not going to go to their computer and figure it out themselves. They're going to call Ricky, their AI, their web guy or their website guy, and be like, hey, what's this AI? How do I get AI into my business? And I think that's that difference. And Greg, you just said it word for word, basically. They don't want to do it themselves. They want to have someone, an expert, do it for them.
And everyone think if they don't have an AI guy, everyone wants one. And if you're talking about swarms, you're way ahead. I've talked to some way up there, like people in there, people funded, people close to the open AI founders and stuff like that. And you can tell from the conversation that they're just now getting into the concept of swarming. And and so that's why I whenever somebody tries to compete me down and say, oh, there's a framework that I'm like, go for it, go do it, because I know there's obstacles.
Yeah,
you don't even know what terminal is. Go ahead, go do it, and then they quickly back up. And they're like, yeah, sure.
We've started to tell that to a lot of people, like go try some other ones, and then we'll talk to you in a little bit.
Because I know the frustrations they're going to hit. And I also know what it took for me to overcome them and my team. And I sit there and I go, I'm peerless almost. Like this group is actually refreshing to be in, if you even know what a multi-agent framework is, right? And as we talk about, I don't even know what goes in people's heads as we talk about these things, but some start to get it, that if you can dedicate, an LLM to one specific task.
Yeah. Cool. Stanley, you had your hand up?
Yeah, good day, guys.
Hey.
I have
Hey, Stanley.
tried to pitch this to few insurance agents leader and also some properties leader agents. As few of them is asking about can it be done with like appointment booking with a few calendars integration, because some of them I can say that many of them that they have many downline, so they would like to try this. If let's say appointment is booked, so is that possible to book the appointment for few calendars? Let's say A agents this timing is fully booked up, so is that possible to assign it to another one? So is that any way that we can do it for few calendars integration? Because I have heard that request as well. I think like a few weeks ago, that somebody suggest this for a so-called a Bumbler. There might be a few Bumbler that need this. So I think a few weeks ago, you all have this working hours talking about this as well. So coincidence that I'm pitching to few property leader agents and also insurance leader agents. So they're asking for that as well. So how possible is that we can do this?
So you can do that via the scheduling tabs and prompts right now. It is limited to Google right now. So I'll send a link in the chat right here that has all the information related to the current functionality of scheduling. So there's a lot in there. I would recommend kind of reading through all of that first and seeing if that will apply to the use case that you're describing. And then if we need to make adjustments from there, then we can start looking at adding additional functionality to meet the use case that you're trying to accomplish.
Great. So we can integrate the multiple Google Calendar at once.
It depends. Right now, you can integrate one calendar, but if you're using the Google Calendar, you can share calendars with a single calendar. So natively in Google Calendar, you can share calendars. And if you do that, the availability of that one calendar now contains all the events of whatever calendars that you're sharing.
Okay, great.
So yeah.
Let me try out that. Yeah. Second thing is that would like to find how possible because I would like to recruit some agent as well to push this to the market, so to accelerate the adoption of AI in our region. So is there any like affiliate partner kind of function that we can use?
For Stammer, we have the affiliate program.
Oh, great.
I'll put a link to that in the chat as well.
Appreciate that.
You're welcome. Thanks for joining.
Yeah, sorry, Ross. This is main that is pushing for Stammer AI, right? How about if let's say I have let's say my own white label kind of agent. So I would like these agents to push my white label kind of agent. So is there any way to doing that?
Your internal, I got you. Your internal system. We have a ticket open for that. That's not currently available, but we're working on that. So that will
Okay,
be able
great.
to allow you to add your own like rewardful affiliate program for your own AI.
Yeah. So do I need to going in to upvote that or anything else that I need to do?
We already have a ticket open for that one. So by you sharing, this feedback in the meeting, we'll make a note of that on the ticket, and then.
Great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Thank you
Stanley,
very much.
and Stanley, where are you getting your leads, by the way?
Actually I've been in advertising industry for more than 15 years. So I have kind of plenty of leads in my database as a clientele. So mostly of them is from SMI, SME. So I would like to help them to to adopt in these AI agents.
Cool.
So you're running
Yeah.
ads?
Yes, advertising agency.
Nice.
So I just use back the same clientele because previously we were talking about advertising, but now I have another profile with me that I can push this AI agent to them.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Have you talked to any new clients outside of any existing?
Yes. Like just now I saying that one of it is this insurance agents, and I would like to target those leaders because most of them they have quite numbers of agent underneath them to help them. So if let's say I approach leaders, it's easier to going in is because the value for them to provide will be higher because the cost sharing per head will be lower.
Yep. And you could
Because
sell
once they have it, yeah, they can ask their agent underneath them to use this AI. So that's why I'm asking for just now. The first function is that are we able to integrate few calendars because it might be we might not know, maybe 100 underneath them or maybe 20 or 50. Yeah. So we need to integrate multiples of calendar inside one AI agent.
Got it. I know that there is a function inside Google Admin, inside Google Workspace, as long as all of the accounts are underneath the master account, that master account has access to all of the calendars in that all below them. So in that scenario, you could easily just have all of those calendars be added to the one master calendar, and then there you go.
Okay. So I can get that in your link that you sent me just now, right?
That one is for Stammer specific. I would Google like how to add multiple calendars in Google Workspace admin.
Yeah.
That should give you a tutorial from Google on how to do that with your Google Calendar.
All right, great. That's it.
Cool. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah, Stanley, great work on that. That's
Yep.
that's a great market that needs a lot of automation help, and they have plenty of money to be. That's the kind of the two core things, right? Like one, there's an obvious use case, but two, they can afford it. And sometimes some of the markets we've seen agencies go for can't afford bots, and it's tough, but it is what it is, and we have to sell to people who can afford it. So
Yep.
uh,
Yep.
yeah, great work so far.
Yeah. Actually, I have some ideas is whereby if let's say in the regional different region, because in my region we have this so-called the digital grant. So if let's say I manage to find out, this is qualified for the digital grant, so it will further help them to onboard, without any financial difficulties. So there's a government support for that as well. So that's the second step going to find out. So if let's say we are qualified for that, then it will be easier for them to solve their financial challenge. So because there's a support from the government grant.
That's interesting. That's similar
Yeah.
to some other folks.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So that's it.
Taking advantage of the government. Gotta love that.
Yeah. Yeah. So I try to work out with another. That's why I need the affiliate thingy to get it done soonest, because there's another girl in my community. You'll be surprised that actually it's not young. Like just now, Ross, what you say, she's actually, I think like 60 plus, over 60 plus, over 60 years old. But she's quite into this all kind of AI apps, this and that, and she have a very strong link with government sectors, because she give training to all those government officials. But he's most into education. So I would like to partner with her, propose something to her that, down the road, if let's say she's sharing something about AI agents, so it might be something for her to promote.
Yeah.
Then it will be another profile for her as well.
Smart. Good
Yeah.
idea.
Yeah. So that's why I need the affiliate thingy. If let's say it's available, then the possibility for her to work together with me will be higher.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll revisit that and get that updated on the roadmap.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Thanks.
Stanley.
Thank you very much. And I would like to thanks Tim as well, because Tim have get back to me very fast for my request, and he solved something technical thingy for me.
Oh,
Thanks, Tim.
yeah, no problem. Thank you. And I think we have
Yeah.
it could be wrong. Oh, yes, the Excel thing. Right. Okay, great. Glad to know
Yeah,
that
yeah.
worked out.
Yeah. Thanks, Tim.
Thank you.
That's
Cool.
it. Over to you guys.
Yeah, sounds good. Thank you again.
Thanks.
Anyone else have any positive feedback from this week? Good sales conversations? Things that could help the group. Jim, Evan, Alex. Good.
I'll add to kind of my findings, because I do feel like I'm out. Like I said, I left the Midwest and came out here to LA, and I'm sinking or swimming out here on this, and putting it more in the framework of apps and automation, I've found helps sell it more than kind of fetishizing the bots. I think they're intimidating to talk about, the bots themselves, and people don't care about the back work. That's the blockchain, I think, is guilty of that too. They hyper focus on blockchain and they don't talk about the human outcomes of it, where it's like, you're gonna have apps that make money. That's basically what you got to tell people. and then too, as community leaders, we have to build those things. And and then showing one of my things I do suffer from is the biggest swarm I have is in a legal way that I can't share with others because of the attorney-client privilege. So that is kind of tough, that I need to get a more open sourced use case.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, if it is a problem, so you said sink or swim. So, just want to give, and this is a hill I'll die on, right? This is a very interesting and easy way to find out who is paying for ads currently. Because if you can find who's paying for ads you can find who can afford a chatbot. And one of those is to go on the Facebook Ad Manager platform, literally search whatever niche that you're interested in. So if you're interested in plumbing, if you're interested in insurance companies, if you're interested in turfing, gardening, whatever type of niche, legal, you can see who's literally running ads, and you can go to them and say, hey, I saw you're running ads. Let's make that ad its most effective by adding an AI chatbot to the landing page. It makes complete sense. Why would you miss out on a potential customer who can't get one question answered? So
And
if
to
that's
work,
and Stanley, that's why I asked you, like, how did you get your leads? That is the most qualified way to get leads. Like, not who has the most Google reviews, not who's posting the most on Instagram, because sometimes those are not going to be people who have money. And especially when you're thinking about LTV for your agency, you want to ensure that it's someone who not is just affording 1 month, but is a 10-year customer. So, Ross, you were going to say something?
Yeah, I was gonna say, just working off that, it sounds like, Greg, you would take that a step further instead of and just say, like, we'll add an automation or an app instead of an AI chatbot.
Yeah, because ultimately, yeah, the chat bot is one agent. That's how I'm looking at it. And then that's your first agent.
Yep.
And then I even thought of how clever could somebody get if you had, with this chat bot, could you build your own agency through that chat bot? And your mind gets all meta crazy
Oh
out of
my
it.
gosh. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like how capable, if you have a chat bot within your website, could your community really do well with it? It's another thing that we came across the other day was about like putting security onto your chat bots, because you can somebody can cleverly prompt your chat bot and get a lot of business information out of you, especially if you've trained your bots with all your kind of data. So looking at that's what kind of sprung it, where I was just like, oh, how capable is it if I have a chat bot on a website, and it's other than scheduling this, that, and the other, could my community start, building games and, start betting and gambling amongst themselves? It's this idea of self-organizing. Why couldn't that one first agent then spawn a bunch of others?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that is the future. You're touching on how the future will, within our platform, and I think with a lot of other platforms, will be it's not that crazy spiderweb flow of madness. It's an AI agent that could spawn other AI agents or talk to other AI, and then you create groups of them, and then they have tasks, and yeah, it's gonna get pretty wacky here in the next 12 to 18 months, but it's gonna be fun.
And that is one too, where I tell people like, oh, especially when it comes to, oh, I tried Chat GPT and I got a hallucination. I kind of arrogantly come back and like, well, you're not talking to my AI, and you're not talking to all of mine, and I'm willing to give you all of mine. That's where I try to get, give me your skills through automation, and in return, I'll give you all my skills and all the skills I've been collecting.
Smart.
And that's where that swarm idea to say, hey, like I'm gathering skills by everyone by automating their processes and building the agents, the workflows. And then if you join me, then you get mine. So, and that's where I think the next internet will be all connected. And what's going to help is how fake the real internet's going to be here soon. And you're going to have bots. Like I just built a GPT the other day that's, I don't know how good it's going to get, but it's trained on detecting AI generated media, right? That kind of thing. Like that's going to be a useful tool. Find out, what's fake. So if you look at, and I've been telling people, everyone's going to have their own branded apps. And as the internet gets really fake, you're going to only participate in apps in which the people that are in the app, right? It's going to get more localized.
And that you trust. Yep.
Yeah, trust.
Cool.
Quick question for me, Ross. We're now getting to the point where we got our first client. Hopefully, we're going to sign them up for a longer term. And are there any online licensing things that you guys have made available? Or I'm just looking at this going, oh shit, do I have to do a license and have them sign up manually? Or is there something that clients can participate in that they can do an online sign up?
Like to become a client in your white label?
Yeah,
Yeah, so that would be after you connect your Stripe account, you create your subscription products.
yep.
When they sign up through one of those subscription products, they would then become a client in your automatically. So whatever is connected on that subscription product is what they would be given when they sign up.
And there's a license behind that?
That is the quote unquote the license to your
Okay.
version of the white label. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I'm more worried about inserting things like limit of liability clauses and stuff like that in that.
Gotcha. So what you should do is make a web page that has your terms of service and your privacy policy.
Yeah, okay.
And then you take the link of that and put that into your agency settings. There's two text boxes to put your terms of service and your privacy policy in Stammer.
Okay, good, yeah. Yeah, it's something, especially with the lawsuit we had in Canada, which was just crazy. By the way, that wasn't a generative AI product with Air Canada, if anybody heard that.
Yeah, Canada's not doing too well over there with AI.
Well, it has its ups and downs, but like I said, there was a big lawsuit with Air Canada, and I got a hold of them, actually, just for the podcast I do. There wasn't generative AI at all. It was just a standard AI chatbot that made the mistake. In other words, somebody typed in the wrong stuff. Leonard Cohen was right. There ain't no cure for love, but there ain't no cure for stupid either. So there you go.
Classic.
Cool. Thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome. Cool.
Makes me
Awesome.
wonder though, when you look at multi-agent frameworks, where their policy is more stringent, will you find other people that understand it? So I think my worry is like, hey, the Europeans and the Canadians, are they falling behind? Or is there going to be a segment that's forced to figure it out on their own? Because what got me down to multi-agent was working within Azure and seeing how expensive and difficult the centralized systems were. So where the Europeans because I'm finding some good Russians too that are doing some stuff. And I'm like, oh, because everything's centralized, I wonder if they're forced to go to a more decentralized model. So watch out. There might be good things coming out of Canada only because they're forced through bad policy to
I was
come
gonna
up
say
with.
for whatever it's worth, I've been seeing a lot of stuff come from France for whatever reason, and it's just like why I don't know why, but like it just seems like that startup's there, this person's there, that person's there. Like it's interesting. Could also say the same thing about Las Vegas though. So come on down.
There's a huge AI community in France. Don't forget, they came up with Mistral.
Exactly. Yeah.
They're quite advanced in what they're doing.
Yeah. Good point. Good point. Yeah. Awesome. Well, thanks everyone for joining this week. We'll call it there. We'll have some updates coming up next week, and yeah, talk to you guys soon.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Cheers. Bye-bye.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.